This program was made possible in part by
The sound of these bees is the sound of a safe environment and of an important source of safe, affordable food. Honey is a specialty crop produced in our state that is created from plants in our area. Mississippi beekeepers provide a safe, abundant, and affordable supply of honey to homes and restaurants statewide, while byproducts are used in soaps and other skincare products. Support Mississippi beekeepers. Buy locally produced honey. The farm families of Mississippi.
Mississippi Seafood Marketing, a division of the Department of Marine Resources. From our waters to your table. Fresh, local, healthy. Information available at dmr.ms.gov.
Well, hello. I'm Chef Rob Stinson, and this is Fit to Eat, a new series about eating healthy and living better. Mississippi is at the bottom of national studies in health and nutrition. Diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, and obesity run rampant in our great state. Well, I'm here to demonstrate how little changes in diet can make a big difference in health. Making those changes doesn't mean you have to sacrifice flavor to get rid of fat. Taking fresh local ingredients, I'm going to teach you to make meals that are healthy and delicious without spending a fortune. And as always, you can find my recipes with all the nutritional information on our website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. Now, I've talked before about how poultry is Mississippi's largest agricultural commodity. But did you know that the poultry industry employs more than 24,000 people today? Today, we're going to be making a grilled chicken with a honey-glazed cashew sauce that is absolutely to die for as far as flavor. And when you find out that it actually has healthy components, it's just a win-win. So what we're going to do today, and it's going to kind of be a split personality of dishes, I'm going to show you how we can do the dish with chicken. But I'm also going to actually show you that this dish could be made with a beautiful portobello mushroom, which is almost like a steak in and of itself. And that portobello mushroom, if made with this dish, will turn it into a vegetarian dish for those of you out there who that's the style of food you like. So, and that's one of the things that I think is important in our cooking. There's so many different components that could be changed if you really don't care for one particular ingredient. So the topping in the sauce that I really love to make for this dish is a seared sauce that's got serrano peppers, jalapeno peppers, cashews, a little organic honey. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because I tell you what, there's great stories and there's great healing qualities in honey, and a natural local organic brown sugar, garlic, and some fresh apple cider straight from Mississippi. So again, homegrown. What could possibly be better? All right, we're going to get the pan hot, and on this dish, sometimes I'll have my pan so searing hot. This is one that I'm not actually looking to have that pan start off so hot because the sauce might caramelize, and by that I mean the sugar might bind a little too much. So what we're going to start off with, small amounts of oil, and as you watch this series, you're going to learn, drop down on the amount of oil and butter that you cook with, and you'll virtually never see me use butter on the show unless it's absolutely essential for the recipe. So, little bit of oil, and what I'm putting in there, this spout will hold it from being too dramatic, and that is actually less than half a teaspoon, okay? So about half a teaspoon of oil. We're going to throw in our garlic, and we're going to put in about a teaspoon of garlic. Now we're going to add in these beautiful serrano peppers. And guys, you know, when you cook with serrano peppers, it's about an ounce each. You want to be careful not to be breathing directly over that pan if you're not used to it, because serrano peppers have got a real aromatic quality, and there is a serious spice to them. And these are peppers grown right here that I purchased at a local farmer's market. All right, we're going to add to that our jalapenos. So this glaze really is a jalapeno honey glaze. Lots of different names you can call it. They're all delicious, and the idea of it is that when you're eating healthy, put a little added oomph in there. Have a little fun with it so that you can actually get some good flavors and know that you're not sacrificing taste. All right, then we're going to actually get this moving around in the pan. We're going to add in these beautiful cashews. Why cashews? Cashews are one of the healthiest nuts. You can buy them at virtually every grocery store, superstore, farmer's market, and cashews will brown well. They have a great nutritional value, and they're actually one of the better nuts for you. Now, I'm going to move this portobello out of the side for the moment so we can finish this sauce. And I'm going to turn the heat up just a hair. Now we get to add in half of our cider. And you can see that's in a hot pan. You hear this fancy word, deglaze the pan. The first days I had cooking, I always heard these terms and I never knew what they were. I always felt dumb asking. Well, there is no dumb question when it comes to cooking. So what deglaze means is to get all of the flavor out of the pan into the sauce by using a liquid. I mean, that's as complicated as it needs to be. All right, now we're going to kick that heat down a hair, add in this organic honey. And I told you there was a story about this honey. Local organic honey, and that's about a tablespoon that we put in. Local organic honey has a wonderful healing quality for people with allergies because of the fact that the pollen is caught by those local bees. We're putting some lemon in, by the way. The pollen is local, so that if someone were to take about a tablespoon of that pollen through the use of the honey on a daily basis for 2 weeks, you build up antibodies that will fight allergy. I got to say that again. I mean, that's just incredible. And, you know, definitely you want to have some fun with that. Now, listen, there's so many ingredients on this. Don't forget, you can go to mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat to get all of these particulars. And what we've done now is added in that organic brown sugar. We're going to mix it through. And I said, hold back on the cider. All right, we're going to add the cider in the pan. And it's starting to froth up. That's the caramelization, if you would, of that sugar. Now we're going to take and add in fresh squeezed orange juice. If you can do it, it's always better that way. And that's about a tablespoon or 1 ounce. And that glaze is working perfectly. So what are we going to do with it? We're going to move it to the center where I do not have the heat on and bring it back up to temp right before we put it over the chicken or the portobello mushrooms. So you've had a lot of fun so far. One thing I haven't showed you is I've got some cooked red potatoes. I boiled them about 15 minutes, so they're basically cooked through. We're going to take those potatoes, cut them in half, and put these on a baking pan. Pop them in the oven with a little fresh diced garlic. And this is going to be a really nice, light, healthy potato product for you. I'm going to put that little bit of garlic, and that garlic will kind of caramelize in the oven. And you're going to notice that it has such a great kind of caramelization, that crusty garlic. And that's all we need to do with those. So we're going to take this directly over to the oven. I've got the oven on, and I have it on high. I've got it on 450 degrees. We're going to set our timer for about 10 minutes. And they'll come out just about the time our meal is ending. So we've got our glaze working right here. we're going to move a pan up, get it hot. And now our pan on the far right, what we're going to work on are our turnip greens. But first of all, let me come back to this portobello mushroom. Portobello mushrooms, when you get them, this is a gorgeous portobello mushroom, by the way. Big, beautiful cap. You can buy them. It is exactly like eating a great steak if you do them correctly. But you can't eat the dirty gills that are inside. So take a spoon. This is just a regular kitchen spoon. And we're just what we call gilling the restaurant. In the restaurant, we call it gilling the mushroom. And all we're doing is taking the gills out because there's dirt in those gills at times. So now you've got a nice clean mushroom. Pull some of that extra off. And that's it. I mean, look at that. That is just a beautiful, perfect looking clean mushroom. So we've got our pan hot. We're going to add again a touch. I love, you know, if you can find a top for your oil like this that keeps it from coming out so heavy at one time, you'll notice that your oil usage goes down dramatically. And guys, that's what this show is all about, is trying to train ourselves to know that we can cook healthier. So what we're going to do in this pan now, take and actually sear our portobello mushroom on both sides, and then we're going to pop it in the oven with those potatoes. And it truly will be a wonderful dish to have that glaze over, just like we're doing the chicken. Now in the pan on our right, again light oil, and we're going to sear our chicken. Place it in the pan away from you so in case it pops, it's hot. And that's what you want. You really want to get that searing quality. And at this point in time, when your chicken's cooking, your mushroom is in the pan, we're going to start thinking about our turnip greens. And that mushroom at this point, we're going to go ahead and move into the oven. And it's going to work on the same timer as those potatoes. So when the buzzer goes off, we got mushrooms ready, we got potatoes ready. Works really well that way. And I'm going to take this chicken. The one thing you're going to see when we do our turnip greens, we're going to actually cook them in the same pan, so we have not used any additional oil. So let's get our topping and what goes with the turnip greens ready. We've already got a little tiny bit of oil in the pan. What I have here is diced, dried, crisp bacon. Why? Well, you don't want all the oil in the pan. You don't want to cook in bacon fat. So I pretty much removed it all, and that diced bacon will go right into the pan, along with a little of our minced garlic, some diced onion, and this is all stuff that you would add in to a long roasted turnip green. And didn't have turnip root, I used some of the green onion root, which will add that punch of flavor that we're looking for. So remember, you know, when you go to the store, don't get disappointed if you can't find every ingredient that you think you need for the recipe. There's almost always going to be one more substitute, just a touch. So again, when you look through and you want to get that list of what you need to cook, go to mpbonline.org/fit to eat. It's got everything there for you. All right, we're going to turn this over, turn our chicken. Chicken looks incredible. Our potatoes are baking. You can already see that our onions have browned to a degree. And just to make a little space, we're going to add that to the front of the pan. Chicken is so wonderful. You know, it's incredible to think that we supply 10% of the nation's broilers. Those are the whole chickens from Mississippi. I mean, that's just astounding to me. You know, and buying good local homegrown product while you're cooking keeps all the preservatives out. You really don't want to buy things that are loaded with preservatives. So it's a beautiful way to eat. Now, we're gonna move this over. Take just that touch. So now total for all of this food, we've probably got about 1.5 teaspoons. Now this pan is so hot. These are turnip greens. Everybody is probably familiar with them, and they're typically cooked for hours. We're not doing them that way. We're almost searing them to the point where they're gonna make a coating in the bottom of this pan. I love cooking greens this way. It's so different than the traditional, you know, cook them for hours until it's almost like soup. So we're gonna leave them in the pan. You see, I can even touch them and move them around. Beautiful turnip greens from the farmer's market, by the way. And actually get a plate ready, because when this is finished, everything's gonna happen pretty quickly. So at this point, we've got our chicken breast to where we're gonna bring it out, let it rest, turn our turnip greens, and I have fun with this with 2 sets of tongs. And you see how they browned? That's perfect. That's perfect. They just have got almost a brown sear to them. We're gonna take all of the topping. Oh, it's already got such a great aroma too. Put them directly on top of these turnip greens, and I'm telling you, this is a treat you will not believe. Turn that heat down until we're ready to put our glaze back on. And watch how easy this is. There it goes, right on the pan. I love this dish. When you get to that crustiness that you're gonna find of the turnip green, it's got flavor that you just won't believe. So now the tricky part is we're going to take our chicken, put it into our glaze, and then bring this back up to a temperature so that the caramelization that we talked about, and all that is, caramelization is the sugar getting hot, the honey that's in there getting warm, and coating that chicken. And there we go, the little flame underneath, and we're gonna watch this one really close, all right? I hate to say it, but there's some dishes that you can do ahead and you don't have to worry about, and there's other dishes you really gotta watch. The only thing that we're thinking at this point, we know we've got our potatoes in the oven and our mushroom, but our turnip greens are perfect. So we're at a point where I do a little maintenance. Let's get all this out the way. That organic honey is incredible. Beautiful local oranges. So again, you know, we have such a great time. I heard it. I heard it. And don't forget, while I'm getting the potatoes out, mpbonline.org/fit to eat. That's where all of these great recipes are. All right, the caramelization, good. Oh, that looks so perfect. Let's go back here. And I'm gonna borrow a cloth. And man, it looks just perfect. Wow, that portobello mushroom, I'm not sure which one I actually like better. To bring our heat tray right over here. Now what I'd like to do is kind of get a close-up so you can actually see how this portobello looks. It's still so meaty that right now we could place it on the plate, cover it with the glaze, or place the chicken. So let's have a little fun with this and just kind of hold it on the side, because I really want the dish to be made with chicken. It's the one that you can get on the website, and I think you'll enjoy it every bit as much. And you know, the talk about where we are as a state with the agricultural production that we have of chicken is just fantastic. Now, in this pan, you can see the bubbling is going on to that caramelization. This is where you're really watching it close because we're over the heat. And the idea is to turn your chicken. And we're not going to use all the sauce over it. So I've got a kind of treat at the end. We're going to take our potatoes, place them right along the side where these turnips are. And it's such an easy way to bake a wonderful, healthy potato. Portion-wise, about 2 of the red potatoes, because we're keeping this very low as far as carbohydrates. The caramelization is done on the chicken. And let me show you how incredible that is. That chicken goes right on top. You got your turnip greens to the side. Let's go ahead and get a nice spoon so we can spoon that glaze with those cashews right over the chicken. We're going to just get a little bit more of that sauce. I love this dish. Look at all the color, too, from those serrano peppers. All right. Then we're going to take and actually put a little touch of fresh yogurt. I know you say, he's got to be kidding me. But we're going to put a little dollop of yogurt on top of those hot baked potatoes instead of butter. And you think, oh, he's got to be kidding me. That's going to taste horrible. You know what? Until you try it, you won't believe how good they are. I mean, it is that good. So then we're going to take and put our diced chives. But I got to show you the trick. This is the trick. We're going to bring another plate out. We're going to take some of our turnip leaves without cooking, just so you can get an idea of the presentation, and place these on the plate. Then, yeah, you guessed it, we're going back to the same pan. We're going to put our portobello mushroom in it. And if you recall, the only place we had any meat in this dish so far was with the turnip greens. So this dish, with these portobello mushrooms and this honey, cashew, jalapeno, serrano pepper, and all the great stuff that's in there, will go with that portobello mushroom. And some people might actually like that better than they actually like the chicken. But I think they're both fantastic. So we're going to take an extra little bit of time here, caramelize this portobello mushroom with the same sauce, so that when everything is said and done, you've got a beautiful dish. Let's clean this plate of here. And I love the way that this is looking. That dish is just great. All right. Portobello is finishing on this side. And I even put on our website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, the substitution you can do with a portobello mushroom versus the chicken. And don't forget, on that website, you got all the nutritional information as far as carbohydrates, as far as fat, and it will show you what a difference it's making. And, you know, that's half the fun. When I cook in a restaurant, one of the biggest focuses that people have today is, how can we cook healthy? What can we do to change our focus so that everything we're doing is in a healthier mode? And I really do believe you buy local, you get rid of the preservatives, and you have such a fun time doing this. You know, the pan searing of these turnip greens with the potatoes, what a wonderful change. And, you know, when you eat food that's light and healthy, it's just a better way to feel the next day. You're not feeling so full. So portobello takes a hair longer. Right now, it's about finished. So what we're going to do, hold this on the side for a hair, heat our pan on the other side, and do a couple more of our, let me grab a couple of these potatoes. I'm going to slice these and sear them and just kind of garnish the side of the portobello. So now you can actually see. And let me get my tongs here. to kind of add a little pizzazz to this dish as a vegetarian lover's dish. And this is really kind of a fun idea, is that you could have a dish made mainly for your children. You can have a dish made that actually is perfect for a vegetarian. And let's take that portobello mushroom and put that beautiful glaze. Oh man, it looks so good. Right over the mushroom, sitting with the turnip greens. And I think the key in cooking for vegetarians is to realize it's the same principle. It's healthier, but you don't want to sacrifice flavor. So I think that's where we are on this. Now let's go ahead, get those seared potatoes, put them on the side of the plate, and take a touch. We're going to leave the garlic off of this batch. Just do them a little bit lighter. And again, you got to try using other products instead of butter if you really want to make a go of this. And I know some people say, well, I just don't like yogurt. When you put it into a dish where there's entree flavor, it's completely different. And what's so fun about this is you've got two great dishes: the chicken with cashew, jalapenos, serranos, garlic, our turnip greens, beautiful roasted potatoes with a little garlic. And I mean, look at how pretty that dish is. You know, to me, you eat with your eyes, and I think it's every bit as important when it comes down to it. So just remember, you can find all my recipes with all the nutritional information on the website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. I'm Chef Rob Stinson, and thanks for watching Fit to Eat.
This program was made possible in part by
Mississippi family farms sustain a long, proud tradition that has been handed down for generations. A safe, dependable source for food, fiber, and timber, Mississippi family farmers help feed your family as well as their own. Through best practices and modernization, Mississippi farmers continue to be good stewards of our land and water resources, ensuring a reliable, affordable source of food well into the future. The farm families of Mississippi.
Support for Fit to Eat comes from Mississippi Seafood Marketing, a division of the Department of Marine Resources. From our waters to your table, wild-caught Gulf fresh seafood is fresh, local, and healthy. Information at dmr.ms.gov.